And I'm back. Well, it's been a long time since I posted my last video. And I did tell everyone that I was going to start posting more frequently, and I didn't, because life just got very, very hectic. So many ups, so many downs, so many lefts and so many rights. But that's what I want to discuss today. This video is going to be about something what I have integrated recently with just recent events in my life, to trying to understand them and integrate medicine into everyday life. Because when you come back from medicine journeys, the hardest thing what you can do is to integrate. So you may have such beautiful, profound experiences in the jungle, working with your curanderos, your ayahuasqueros, working with your shamans, your maestros. But it's when you come back to everyday life is when things become more of a challenge. When things become more, should I say, just fuck with your head, basically, you know? The integration period is always the worst. And for me, it has been a roller coaster of emotions, ups and downs, self-doubt, lack of self-worth, then bringing myself back up, because it's all about the integration. So I want to discuss today the dance of life. Life is a dance. Now, when you think of the most famous, the most best dancers in the world, they will always have an issue with their ankle at one point or another in their life, because when you dance, it's movement, and movement opens up the door for you to fall and twist your ankle. I'm going to stand against this tree because it's very good for a backdrop. So in life, it's always about picking yourself back up once you fall down and twist your ankle. So that is the dance of life. You can dance many, many different dances in this life. You can dance the dance of being a doctor. You can dance the dance of being someone who studies psychology. You can dance the dance of someone who's a mechanic. You can dance the dance of working with the medicine, studying the cosmos of the universe. They are all dances. It doesn't mean that one dance is more important than the other dance, because I study plant medicine, but if you bring your car to me, I can't fix your car. You know, I'm not a mechanic. You know, I've got a little bit of experience, but not a lot. I can't plaster your house. My father can, but I can't. I've not spent years and years dancing that dance of becoming a plasterer. I've just danced in certain spaces. So with dancing in the universal energy has made me realize that everything is just about learning a different form of dance. Depression is a dance. Depression is a very dark dance. It's a dance which has thunder, it has lightning, it has rain, it has coldness, it has wind, it has a storm. But it's a dance we must dance into. It's a dance we must surrender to then come back out the other side, to then learn the dance of happiness, to learn the dance of love, to learn the dance of light, to learn the dance, to appreciate the dance. And life is always about the appreciation of going through your hardships in life. It's not always about smiling. It's about being true to yourself. And if you want to break down and cry and come to the forest, then do this. Because when we go through these dark paths, these paths are the driving force behind us coming out the other side. Now, sadly, some of us don't come out the other side. Another reason why my videos, I haven't made any for a long time, is because a couple of months ago, one of my friends took his life. And this hit me very hard. I was with him 2 weeks before he took his own life. I was drinking tea with him, and we were talking about just life and the journey of it, and he was so enthusiastic about his life. And then I get a phone call, and I then find out he's taken his own life, which is very, very sad. You know, I really thought I was going to see him sitting across the room from me in one of my ceremonies in the future, but it's his spirit will be, you know, and he will always live on through his spirit, and his words will always stick with me in my heart the whole time. Unfortunately, his dance come to an end in that incarnation of himself. I do deeply believe in reincarnation. I do deeply believe that we are here to work with some sort of karma. We're here to study. Like I've said before, I don't believe that we are spiritual beings on a human journey. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I do apologise. I don't believe that we are human beings on a spiritual journey. I believe that we are spiritual beings on a journey of experiencing human life. And sometimes that experience can become too much for us. But we need to learn to stick together, and we need to learn that we are humanity. And not only are we humanity, we are also the earth. And as we are fully aware at the moment, the Amazon rainforest is on fire. So this is a dance which is becoming very, very sad for a lot of us at the moment. I hold the Amazon jungle very, very close to my heart. If it wasn't for me going over there, I wouldn't be able to talk to you in front of the camera. I got given a second chance at life, working with the medicines, studying with the Shabibos, studying plant medicine, and really understanding that there's so much more to this life than meets the eyes. Meets these two eyes, and then this eye is the one where we see everything. So yeah, it's been kind of rough, but at the same time, I also want to say thank you for a lot of beautiful messages I've received. Someone messaged the other day that they binge watched all of my videos, and when am I making some more? So because of that message as well, and the rest of the messages I've read, another reason why it's moved my arse to get the camera and start filming again. So thank you very much for all of your very kind words. They do really hit home. And a lot of you guys who've watched my videos of when I was a meathead, and we'll never change the name of the YouTube channel because it shows who I was, and now moving forward to the person who I am today, you know, psychedelic meathead. It's you know, it's been a journey. When you guys watch my older videos and you see that when I was just a typical roided up meathead, and to go through the whole journey now of to where I am, you know, it's been a year and a half since I last ate meat, which has been an incredible journey. And also my hair is becoming very, very wild. Maybe I can use this as my thumbnail. That'd be kind of cool. It's getting longer. It's getting very, very long. And I discussed before in one of my ceremonies with ayahuasca, I had very, very short hair, and in that ceremony I remember looking over to my shoulder and I had these golden locks all coming down here as I was singing my Icaros. I couldn't sing Icaros then, and my Icaros aren't very good at the moment. It's normally just mumbling, but that's why we work with plant medicine. It isn't just to have visions, it's also to gain the songs. I will do a whole separate video on Icaros, and trying to explain from my perspective how I look at Icaros and how Icaros go hand in hand with ayahuasca. But it's basically understanding that everything is a song. You know, the earth around you is a song, the ants climbing the tree is a song, but also not only is it a song, how I look at it as well as it's always a dance. Everything is a dance, and everything is a song, which is also very, very beautiful. Now, also talking about the dance, there is another bit of insight which I would share now, but I think it will be good for another video, and then I can go into a lot of depth for it. I think this video is basically just going to be telling everyone where I am in my life at the moment. As you can see, I am in a forest. It's not the jungle. I'm not back in the Amazon. Is that on the radar? Would I be going back to the Amazon? Of course I'm going back to the Amazon. There's no way that I'm going to sit back and let the Amazon burn without doing something, you know. There's no way I'm going to... I can't do it, you know. I can't... Another thing with working with plant medicine, and if some of you guys and girls are wanting to go on this journey, understand that it's a line. Once you cross it, you really can't come back. And when you try to come back, it doesn't work. So if you're someone who loves socializing with their friends, going out, having a few drinks, watching, you know, meaningless, you know, TV shows, you'll come back and you can't do that anymore because you have something new inside of yourself. Like for me, I have many friends, but I don't... The people who I used to talk to and hang around with, I don't really have strong connection anymore to them. I don't really have strong connection to... I've got so many friends, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, I'm blessed to have amazing people, but when it comes to people who I can really talk to, it has eliminated a lot. Some really nice chair I've just found. So when we step into this world of plant medicine, understand that you will change everything, and it's some way of finding some sort of truth about yourself. With working with ayahuasca, it took me on such a deep journey within inside of myself, and you know, I've not drunk medicine now for some time, maybe a year and a half now. But again, like we always say in the world of medicine, when you feel that calling to come back, the medicine will find you. And this is, I won't go too much into detail because things haven't been completely finalized yet. But the likelihood of me being back in the jungle within the next 2 to 3 months is very, very high. So stay tuned for that. I really just needed that break to digest the information, and hopefully all of you amazing people will continue to follow my journey into the world of medicine. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I know someone put in the comments, can I send them over some DMT and some mushrooms and everything else? I'm like, okay buddy, it's not possible. You want the journeys, you know, you have to put that out to the universe and it will come and find you, you know. When I went to Peru, I went with hardly any money. I sold everything. I had this whole idea in my head that I'd never come back to England, and it crushes your ego in a good way. But you know, you've got to walk these journeys on your own in this life. You know, you have to work and walk that path which is less trodden. I've got to stop saying I need to remember that now, to stop saying so much. And I always say that in my other videos, to stop saying It's just a space filler. In this life, it is about marching to the beat of your own drum, and that can become very, very scary because as a species, we like to be accepted, you know, by other people. Now, I've been blessed the last few months, and this thing about asking the universe for something, I wasn't having too much luck with work. I was getting work, but it just wasn't great. I would get work for a few months and it just fizzled out. So I was in my room and I asked the universe to open up the space to give me an opportunity to have a job where I can move out where I was living. Again, in Luton. If you don't know where Luton is, it's not the nicest town in the UK, but that's where I grew up. It's not too far from London. It is what it is. It's a dance of its own. And I asked the universe to have a job where I can travel a lot, where I have like a place to live. And within a week, I got an opportunity. So now I live above a 500-year-old pub in a beautiful village called Pollux Hill. If you don't know the area, if you know Flitwick or Ampthill, it's in between there. So I'm pretty blessed. And my job is I build marquees. So the big massive tents they have for weddings and events. And this opens up opportunities to go to nature a lot. Because we do a lot of work in, you know, people's back gardens, and a lot of people have these beautiful gardens. And whenever we get anywhere, everyone's like, wow, look at that house. And I'm like, wow, look at that tree. And they're like, Ben, go hug a tree. So, so they're also very accepting people. They're wild and they accept, which is also very, very beautiful. You know, we're like a bunch of pirates really at the moment. It's kind of a job. But it's also it's been a very interesting summer, with some interesting turns of events. I won't go into too much detail of them just of yet, because some of the stuff is can't really talk about too much. But yeah, it's just great to be back behind this camera. What else to say? What else to say at the moment off the top of my head, you know? It's just been... I met some amazing people since I've been back in England. I've had some amazing connections with people. Some really amazing people. I've had people randomly come up to me and talk to me, and we've become like amazing friendships. Just by being me and being my true to myself. And that's the thing in life, is admit when you've got a problem, admit when something isn't right, and admit to yourself and admit to others around you. If then people become like dragging you down, always understand that you are the keeper of your own garden. And by being a keeper of your own garden is you can eliminate the weeds whenever you want. So you as yourself just blossom as the flower, and even if you are the weed, become aware that you are the weed. Like, imagine if the weed took a cup of ayahuasca and realized it was killing all of his beautiful flowers. It would then probably change. Or is that just the nature of the weed, you know? Like, if you give Donald Trump ayahuasca, is he going to change his ways? Who knows? It could just be his nature to be how he is. Now, I'm not going to go into politics onto my YouTube channel, really. Even though the Amazon jungle burning... Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, why we're here and I'm talking, and let's talk about the Amazon jungle burning. So the jungle is home to so many indigenous people. It's also home to the lungs of the earth. It's also home to profit. Drug dealings are going on. Loggers are going, you know, everything is going. When they can exploit something, they will exploit it. The indigenous just passed a law a couple of months ago that, you know, they can't be touched. Certain parts of the jungle can't be touched, and a month later the jungle's burning. And it pisses me off. I'm not in a place where I can do too much here. But why is nothing really happening? You know, all of these people. So I've lost respect for a lot of people who are in the limelight. Why have they not stepped forward to try and do something? Like, they have money. And with all of that money, great minds can come together. And, you know, if a plane, you can do something, you know. And there's so many people who just aren't stepping forward to do something. And all of these so-called influencers, people call themselves, we live in a funny time, you know. We live in a funny time right now. Yeah, it's just, stuff isn't moving how it should be, you know, to try and protect the most important thing we have on this earth. The Garden of Eden, for an example. The Garden of Eden is the jungle. Come on, wake up, everyone. The Garden of Eden is the jungle. The Garden of Eden is the Amazon jungle. It's the rainforest. That is the Garden of Eden. But every single person wants to sit and think that it is a different place when it's not. The Garden of Eden is on this earth. And the teachings we have from these characters and from these books, we need to look at them from a different perspective as well. It's like Moses and the burning bush. The burning bush is the acacia tree. The acacia tree in shamanism, the acacia tree is a Nuarel, the tree of life. The tree of life, the tree of life. So the tree of life is also used in the Egyptian belief. They would also worship the tree of life. So Moses took the sap from the tree and was able to have profound experiences because it has dimethyltryptamine inside of it. And again, when we must find peace within inside of ourselves, Jesus walking on water is a metaphor for raising above your emotions. So when he walked on water, it doesn't mean that he physically walked on water. It means that he was able to raise above his emotions. Muhammad in the cave, Muhammad went from Mecca to Torf, and he was stoned to almost to his death as they were trying to, you know, they didn't accept anything he was saying. He goes into the cave and has the experience of Gabriel. And Gabriel said to him, you know, give me your word and I'll put the fear of God in all of his people. And he was able to show, I can still reach his people. It teaches us a lesson to show remorse towards people and understand not to give up on people, because we're all family. We're all family on this earth, and it doesn't matter of your creed, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter your journey in your life. Some people are just shitty, don't get me wrong, and it is hard to always have forgiveness towards people, even some of the indigenous as well, who I've studied with. You know, they yeah, there's some conflict going on in the jungle, so you know, it's hard for the human race to forgive everything. But I'm so optimistic of this earth. If the jungle burning is a inside job, I'm sure light will be shed on this. But I just want every single person just to hold the jungle in their hearts and just to say a little prayer, you know, or a little few words for the jungle. I don't know, light some sage, light a candle, sing a song, do some poetry, and just try and spread some love on this earth. And that's what it's all about. If shedding love and trying to be there for others when they need them, you know. Let's try and pick other people up when we can, and try and shed some love and light and all of the other magical crazy hippie shit. Okay, on that note, I'm going to end this video. Great to be back, and see you guys in the next one. Adios, take care, ciao for now.